Hello everyone, how are you on this beautiful fall Wednesday? I hope you are having a great day. I'm out here behind church here. The river is back there, you can't really see it. I was actually baptized in the river down behind those trees. But I snuck out of Bible study today to join you. Hey hubby. Because I wanted to do day number 7 of the restoration project. I'm going to turn around here. Hey, I'm all dressed up because I had the awesome privilege, hey Ashley, of speaking to some moms this morning at a local church, and we had a great time. We talked about undressing the stress. This is day 7 of the restoration project. I'm Katie M. Reed from katiemreed.com. So glad that you are here. Welcome to all those watching live and those watching the replay as well. If you ever can't catch me, you can go to catch.me, it's with a K, /Katie M. Reed. Hi Audie, welcome. So glad you guys are here. I wanted to talk today. I'm going to keep this a little bit short because I need to go back to Bible study because we are studying the book of Matthew. We're in Matthew 5 talking about the Beatitudes. It's a precept study and it's so good, and I enjoy being with the ladies. But I just wanted to catch you and say hi and talk about today on the blog. We talked about crying over clutter and throwing away stress. And I hope that you go and read today's post because at the end of it, I provided you with 4 other articles and 4 other tools from other people. Hey Gail, welcome. That I think you'll find helpful. One is from Fly Lady. Who's familiar with Fly Lady? Tell me if you can hear me okay. It's a little windy and there's like trucks around and that kind of thing. But anyway, Fly Lady talks about the 27 fling boogie, where you get rid of 27 things in your house. I love to do that. My husband knows. I'm like, it's time for the 27 fling. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Audie. You guys are so nice. So anyway, there's also my friend Amy Wagner, love her. She has a blog and she talks about taking 40 days and doing a bag a day so that you get rid of 40 bags of stuff. And that might sound impossible. Hey Tara, welcome. But let me tell you, we just moved and we got rid of stuff, as you can read on the blog. But what I wanted to talk to you guys today is how we can add up stress. And it's kind of a play on words, because when we don't yield before we say yes, or pause before we proceed, we can add stress to our lives by saying yes to things that are not realistic for that season of our life or for that week of our life or that day of our life. You know, how many of you have had great intentions? Like, let's say a new mom had a baby, okay? Hint, hint. So a new mom had a baby and it would be a blessing for her to take a meal over. This actually happened to me where I wanted to bless someone with a meal, but you know what? It was not a good time for my family for me to be doing that. We were in camping ministry. It was a crazy time for my husband. Finances were tight, and as much as I wanted to bless this young mom, it just wasn't the right thing to do. Thank you, Ashley, for recapping. Yes, yield before you say less. Yes, pause before you proceed, because sometimes we can ensnare ourselves with our words, can't we? Like, let's say you told your women's ministry director at church that you would make 100 cupcakes to help out with this ladies event they're having. And you just want to be a blessing. You want to be used by the Lord. But you know what? Making 100 cupcakes might prove to be pure chaos for your household. And I'm not saying never to say yes to something, but if we can yield before we say yes, pause before we proceed, then we can avoid those embarrassing moments. If you look at Proverbs 6, 1-5, maybe someone can type that in. Audie, how about you? I'm putting you on the spot, girl, because you're such a good assistant to Cindy. So anyway, Proverbs 6, 1-5 talks about if you've ensnared yourself with your words, go to that person, humble yourself, and ask to be released. And I tell you what, it's much easier. Thank you so much. And even into verse 5 too. Thank you, Tara, for doing that. I appreciate that. So I've had to do this before. When I have not yielded before I say yes or paused before I proceeded, sometimes I find myself in a situation where I can't. Thank you, Audie. You guys are awesome. I find myself in a situation where I have to go back and untrap myself from my words, and that's really embarrassing. It'd be much better to follow the Holy Spirit the first time. I had a friend where I really wanted to help, or I wanted to encourage her in her writing. She had just come out with a book, and so I kind of with some selfish motives and disobedience told her I would would help her launch her book. But I knew as I was saying yes, I shouldn't. I didn't have the time. I was being disobedient. So I had to go back to her, and it was so embarrassing. I said, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said yes. I've told my family I'm not going to commit to more things. I need to ask to be released from this. And you know what? She was so gracious. And her response, she was so kind to me. And I was able to help promote in some different ways, but I didn't serve on the launch team because I just couldn't say yes to that. And so I think for all of us, it looks different. Maybe you are supposed to make the 100 cupcakes, for the ladies event. But I think we need to be in step with the Holy Spirit and not be afraid to say yes or no according to His lead. So are you adding stress to your life because you're not yielding before you say yes or pausing before you proceed? Now listen, if God asks you to do something, we need to do it. We need to yield our will and say yes. But when other people are putting demands on our time and that kind of thing, it's not going to hurt to say, can I get back with you? Or I need to talk that over with somebody else. Hey, Tiff, welcome. The other thing is, another way we talked about adding stress is, sometimes we're adding more stress than we need to our lives, but sometimes we need to evaluate what's going on when we feel stressed. And that's what I talked to the ladies about today. We talked about undressing the stress. And if you go to katiemreed.com, you can search undress the stress and you can pull up, there's a printable there. And if you can't print the printable from there, email me at katie@katiemreed.com, and I would be happy to send it to you in an attachment. But hey, Sam, welcome. But we talked about evaluating those moments when we're stressed. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I can be upset about a situation that didn't really warrant the kind of response I'm giving you. I might be like an 11 on the Richter scale with how mad I am about something, but really it should maybe be a 2. And so we talked about asking God to uncover the issue. Why are we really so stressed? Is it really because our toddler ate our lipstick? Or is it more because finances are tight and the lipstick costs $40 and we can't replace it? Or one time I had a situation where I was catering an event. Thank you, Audie. Appreciate that. You go, girl. I think you have an administrative gift. Is that true? Anyways, so I was catering this event, and the person who asked me to do it came in. She said, we're going to need some more food. The people are really hungry. They've been working all week, and so I'm going to make some stuff too. And she started making chili cheese fries, and they looked so good. And I knew that everyone would love the chili cheese fries more than my bread with oil and rosemary, in it. And so I felt really sad and threatened. I'm like, why am I so upset? Yes, it's disappointing that I, couldn't do this all myself, but I was really upset. And God showed me as I asked him, God, what's going on here? He showed me that, I love you too, hubby. He's texting me and throwing me off guard. He's so cute. He distracts me in a good way. Anyway, so I asked God, what is going on? Why am I so upset about this, catering thing? Am I really that controlling that I can't have anyone interrupt my creative process? But God showed me, Katie, your wound is you think you're not good enough. And so because they needed more food or whatever, your past wounds are being triggered. So it really wasn't the current situation that was causing me that much stress. It was past issues that I really hadn't dealt with. And in the past, I had offered things and they hadn't been received as good enough. And so I was taking this isolated situation, putting all those feelings on it. It's so easy to think I'm not good enough. Absolutely. And we are good enough, not in of ourselves, but because of Christ. And He is good enough and He deems us good enough. So I ask you, as you're in a stressful situation and it's like, why? This isn't adding up. Why am I so stressed when this situation really isn't that big? Ask God to help you uncover the real issue going on. When my tween daughter and I butt heads, a lot of times I'm just so frustrated. I'm like, I'm so mad because she's doing this. But then God showed me, Katie, you're mad because you can't control another person. And isn't that the truth? Doesn't that make you mad sometimes when you can't control somebody else? So uncover your heart. Ask the Holy Spirit to show you what is really going on. Is this really about chili cheese fries, or is this about a bigger issue? So we can add stress if we don't yield before we say yes or pause before we can proceed. But also, let's ask God to help us add up. Why am I so stressed about certain issues? And help Him get to the root of the issue. Because you know what, as my life coach says, she'll say, Katie, who can you control? And I'm like, me, just me, which is hard sometimes to even control myself, but Isn't that frustrating sometimes? You want to be able to control other people, but we can't. But we can control evaluating when we're stressed. We need boundaries and we need to ask God to hold us to them. Yes is not always God's best. That's absolutely true. And what's hard, hey Lauren, welcome. What's hard is sometimes someone else can say yes to the same thing, and it is, as Lisa Turker's book says, the best yes for them. But we are all individually responsible to the Lord. So if you've had a stressful situation today, would you go to the Lord and ask Him to help undress the stress and show you, uncover the real issue that's going on? Because sometimes it's not about the toddler eating the lipstick, or not about the tween daughter arguing, or not about the chili cheese fries, but it's a deeper issue. And He wants us to take, I love Lisa's book too. God's plans are so often much better for us than we plan for ourselves. Indeed, that is true, Tara. So I encourage you, if you find yourself in a stressful situation, maybe even right now you're trying to watch Periscope and everyone's pulling on you, or someone's annoying you, ask God, what's really going on? Would you uncover this issue? And then once the issue is uncovered, take that to the Lord. Ask Him that was step 3 I'm giving you. Step 4 is you'll have to go to the website, katiemreed.com, look up Undress the Stress for the other steps. But then the next step would be, God, would you unlock my heart in this area? I get tripped up by I'm not good enough. My mother-in-law cleans windows. She loves to have her windows clean. And you know what? I don't do the windows, but she comes over my house and sometimes does them. And it is nice when the snot gets off the windows. That it does look much better. But when she did that the first couple of times, I thought, man, she thinks I'm not good enough, as a wife or a homemaker or that kind of thing. But I realized, she's just really trying to bless me because that's something that blesses her. And so I had to uncover the issue. What's really going on here? Does she really think I'm awful? And so we talked a little bit about it. And it's like she did not think that, but she was trying to bless me. And if we don't uncover those issues, sometimes we just keep getting mad. Or just keep getting stressed. So ask God to help you uncover the real issue that's going on, and then take that issue to Him and ask Him to help you to get unstuck. Sometimes, it might not be an instant, it might take a lifetime, but He is able to get us unstuck. And sometimes He uses people to help us get unstuck. We have these blind spots that sometimes we need someone else to point out. I've talked and raved about my life coach, Darlene, and just love her. If you go to heartswithapurpose.com, how can we bless to be a blessing to others? How we can let others be that for us? Absolutely. And thank you for that, Tara. So anyway, Darlene, heartswithapurpose.com, she's my life coach, and she has helped me get unstuck in a lot of areas. And God has allowed her in my life to help me uncover some issues and unlock my heart. Thank you, Audie. I hope you have a person like that in your life. If not, go check with Darlene. I think she has complimentary coaching session to help you get unstuck, to help you get to the root of things, because sometimes we need someone else to help point those things out and point us towards freedom. I'm Katie M. Reed from katiemreed.com. This is day 7 of the Restoration Project. I hope you'll join us on the blog as we continue to unwind through rest and prayer for the rest of October. I hope that you will yield before you say yes, pause before you proceed, and ask God to uncover the issues as we get stressed. Have a wonderful day, everybody. It was great to spend this time with you, and I will see you tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Time. Actually, I lied. I will see you tonight at 7 p.m. for Stop Hammock Time with hubby. We hope you'll join us, and if you have a spouse, bring them too, so hubby doesn't feel so alone with all the women. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.